We bring you the lunch edition of MBC News, and you're with me, Patso Tebul. Stories making the headlines this hour. President Chakwera urges traditional leaders to continue fostering peace in their areas in the wake of the recent tragic events in Malawi. National Democratic Institute for International Affairs calls on Parliament to check Malawi's rising public debt. And the Central Region Water Board gets backing from the Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance to raise water tariffs. His Excellency, President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera has urged traditional leaders to continue fostering peace in their areas in the wake of recent tragic events in Malawi. Dr. Chakwera made the remarks at Chikoko Bay State Lodge in Mangochi when he met traditional leaders from the eastern region who had visited to condole him on the tragic events the country experienced last month. Dave Umar reports.
Traditional leaders from the eastern region paid a courtesy call to President Dr. Lazarus Chakwera at Chikoko Bay State Lodge in Mangochi. Led by Paramount Chief Kawinga of the Yao, the traditional leaders conveyed their condolences to President Chakwera following the tragic incidents in June 2024. In his remarks after accepting their condolences, President Chakwera emphasized on the importance of maintaining a peaceful dialogue within communities as the nation mourns the lives lost in a recent plane crash and the death of Presidential Advisor on Youth, Lucius Banda. The Malawi leader further assured the chiefs that his administration is actively working on programs targeting them and the youth, which will include providing soft loans to improve their livelihoods. For his part, Minister of Local Government Richard Chimwendo Banda highlighted the importance of traditional leaders condoling the president, saying it aligns with Malawian tradition and culture.
The tragedy that we went through last month, and we lost the Right Honorable Vice President, Dr. Saulos Klaus Chilima, and then other 8 people who are working in his office. We also lost Honorable Lucius Banda, his presidential advisor, and therefore the chiefs came to condole the president, appear with the president, discuss some development activities happening in their constituencies, but the main agenda today was them condoling the president and also expressing the same, condoling Madam Mary Chilima. They will be always with the families, pray for the families, and make sure that they support the president during this tragic time that we're going through as a country.
The traditional leaders present included traditional authorities and sub-TAs from the eastern region, Zomba, Machinga, Balaka, and Mangochi. Notable attendees included Director of Chiefs, Charles Makanga, and the regional chairman for the Malawi Congress Party in the eastern region, Foster Ntandama. Dave Umar, MBC News, Mangochi.
Vice President Dr. Michael Usi has called on civil servants to be dedicated to duty for the country to develop and achieve its 2063 development agenda. Dr. Usi made the remarks after paying a surprise visit to Chikwawa District Council and Chikwawa District Hospital. Secret Segura reports.
Vice President Dr. Michael Usi's first stop was at Chikwawa District Council offices, where he wanted to appreciate workers' punctuality and dedication to duty in serving Malawians. From the District Council offices, the Vice President proceeded to Chikwawa District Hospital, where he cheered patients. Speaking after the surprise visit, Dr. Michael Usi commended the District Commissioner, Nadine Kamba, and Director of Health and Social Services, Dr. Grace Momba, for being exemplary and committed to duty.
We know very well that many people in Malawi don't keep time, and it's like it's tradition. So I wanted to find out how the district council, Chikwawa, is managing their time. I'm very happy that they appear to be a model of excellence, because the DC is keeping time from what I've seen today, the DHO, and even in the hospital, The nurses are up to date. Public health issues, they're up to date. So I'm very, very happy that this is a civil servant that knows what to do.
Dr. Usi further urged those in leadership positions to be proactive and innovative to develop Malawi.
We are talking about projects. There are so many good projects that are meant to benefit Malawians, but they are stuck in the offices because somebody decides, well, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it next time. This time around, we'll give nobody that luxury. We are going to go after them and make sure that those that deserve to be booted out, they have to be booted out. There are so many people that are praying day and night to God. Please, God, give me a job. Please, God, give me a job. And somebody has a job and is playing with it. We need to save Malawians better.
From the Chikwawa Boma, the Vice President, Dr. Michael Usi, stopped at Tabwa Trading Center along the Blantyre-Chikwawa M1 road, where he interacted with business people selling their merchandise. Dr. Usi is in the southern region for a number of official engagements. Secret Segula, MBC News, Chikwawa.
The National Democratic Institute for International Affairs, NDI, has asked Parliament to help check the rise in public debt in order to reduce its impact on the economy. NDI country representative Emma Gausi made the remarks when the organization appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs to present a Malawi debt transparency report. Olive Piri reports.
The National Democratic Institute for International Affairs, NDI, appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs to present a report on Malawi debt transparency. The report has revealed that Malawi is experiencing debt distress, noting that total debt has grown rapidly, averaging 21% per year over the last 8 years. The report has also shown that the country is experiencing debt distress because of domestic borrowing, which has increased at 36% every year. According to the country representative for NDI, Emma Gausi, the country is facing challenges partly because of the debt situation. Gausi says the country has to focus on production of goods in order to deal with the situation.
One of the best ways to prioritize production is to ensure that interest rates are reduced to stimulate investment in the country. So that's basically the recommendation in the report, that Parliament should work on ensuring that the Reserve Bank tackles the issue of interest rates to motivate people in the country to invest in production.
Chairperson of the Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs, Peter Dimba, says members of Parliament have contributed to the current debt situation as they are responsible for the country's budget. Dimba has since asked fellow parliamentarians to be coming up with balanced budgets.
It's not going to be easy because it means a significant reduction or cut in some expenditure line items and making sure that we don't entertain demand for more expenditure.
NDI has since recommended that Parliament uses its position to call for broader engagement with experts in search of solutions to the situation. Olive Piri, MBC News, Lilongwe.
The Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance has backed a proposal by the Central Region Water Board to raise water tariffs by 21%. The board says it proposed the tariff adjustment in the 2024-2025 fiscal year, but delays to approve the adjustment means that consumers are paying 612 kwacha per 1,000 liters of water. We have more in this report by Trust Office.
The Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance summoned the Central Region Water Board mainly to appreciate the financial performance of the state-owned enterprise, whilst acknowledging the efforts the institution is making towards financial stability. Vice Chairperson of the committee, Ishmael Razaki Nkumba, noted that the board is struggling financially, hence the need to raise the tariff.
I would like to increase the water tariff. That they explain and are convinced that if that happens through the Ministry of Water and Sanitation, they will be able to provide the services efficiently and sufficiently. So we're working with them. We have asked them to make formal proposals to the committee so that we study them, but also to ensure that this does not create a burden on their customers.
The Central Region Water Board says it is owed around 6.8 billion kwacha by public institutions. Central Region Water Board Chief Executive Officer John Makwenda is however hopeful that the institution will start paying significant dividends to government once it carries out its major water projects.
We have the project at Salima where we want to rehabilitate the water supply in Salima. This we hope to get a financing from EIB. Probably by October we should be able to move forward with that project. And then we have another project that we are doing with financing from Open Fund.
The Central Region Water Board officials have also expressed optimism that the board will reach out to 95% of its customers in the Central Region once the key projects are implemented. Trust Office, MBC News, Lilongwe.
You're watching the lunch edition of MBC News with me, Mphatso Tebulo. A reminder of our top stories. President Chakwera urges traditional leaders to continue fostering peace in their areas in the wake of the recent tragic events in Malawi. National Democratic Institute for International Affairs calls on Parliament to check Malawi's rising public debt. And the Central Region Water Board gets backing from the Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance to raise water tariffs. Welcome back. Government has described the inauguration of Mwanza one-stop border post as a game changer for the socio-economic development of the country. Minister of Trade and Industry, Sosten Gwengwe, made the sentiments in Mwanza during the official handover of the facility to the ministry. According to Gwengwe, the facility will spur economic activities at the border and create a conducive environment to the business community.
So basically what the government has done is to reduce the number of agencies at these borders. So we now have about 5 critical ones. Some time back we used to be having 14 institutions at one border, and it was a lot of duplications, a lot of delays for our traders or business or private sector, so to speak. And this one-stop border post, because they have to stop only at one side of the border and not duplicate the processes at both sides, Malawi side and Mozambique side. So time is money, and the private sector likes doing things in a speedy manner, and we believe that unnecessary delays at our borders will be a thing of the past, and this will facilitate a lot of trade in the country. So, like I've said, we are a trade facilitating ministry, and we know that we need to make processes much simpler, much easier, and much cheaper for our private sector. And I will be introducing the national single window in the next few months, so that all the documentation can be lodged on one single window on an online platform. And we believe that all these will make imports and exports much seamless.
Commenting on the development, Deputy Commissioner General for Malawi Revenue Authority Henry Ngudwa said the opening of the facility will reduce traveling time between other people used to spend when processing documents, since all agents and clearing companies will be housed under one roof. The 3.2 billion kwacha project started in 2021 with financial support from the World Bank.
No, it's a crucial facility because as a government, the Minister of Trade, as the Minister indicated in his speech, they are driving trade facilitation. Trade facilitation is crucial to helping or supporting private sector in the doing of business. And trade facilitation essentially involves making sure that the border processes are seamless. There's efficiency in terms of time management, such that goods or people entering or exiting the country do not stay long in the country. But most importantly, the goods have to move into production as quickly as possible. So the MRI's target, for example, is to have a time release of not more than 3 hours. Our aspiration is to have a truck or a container arrive at the border and be cleared within 3 hours, because we feel that that's what underpins trade facilitation.
The Association of People with Albinism in Malawi, APAM, has disclosed that it has secured funding for the construction of sunscreen lotion manufacturing factory in Malawi. APAM President Yang Muhamba told NBC that the factory will ease pressure on Forex, as currently they are importing the lotion. Alex Mwangosi has filed this report, read by George Mukandawire.
Considering the sensitivity of the skin of people with albinism, it is recommended that they should be applying sunscreen lotion to avoid skin cancer. However, the lotion is not locally produced and is procured outside Malawi. Realizing this, Association of People with Albinism in Malawi, APAM, has sourced funds for the construction of a factory to manufacture the lotion locally. In an interview with the MBC, APAM President Yang Muhamba called on the Minister of Lands to allocate land for the factory, saying it will also create job opportunities for Malawians, including people with albinism.
So what we did is we decided that maybe if we construct a local sunscreen factory, then we can be able to bypass all those challenges. And also you should know that this sunscreen factory will be managed by persons with albinism themselves. For example, me, I'm the pharmacist by profession, so I'm very well I'm aware of the minimum standards and everything to do with the production. And we have also other persons with albinism who are very, very aware of all these things. So what I'm trying to say is that the management of it will be done by persons with albinism. And also we will be able to employ persons with albinism there. So that will also help as a job opportunity for persons with albinism. So the problem that has been there is that the Ministry of Lands has been delaying to provide us a piece of land.
Responding to the concern, Minister of Lands and Housing, Deus Gumba, said his ministry will soon allocate land for the factory.
Let me say that regarding the place or a plot where they can construct the factory, that is really within the domain of my ministry, and rest assured that we'll provide that particular plot so that they can do the construction for the factory in terms of perhaps the manufacturing lotion and the like.
According to the National Statistical Office, NSO, Malawi has a population of over 136,000 people with albinism.
Program Manager for Shaping Our Future Foundation, Loma Mtema, says the organization continues to make strides in improving lives of women and the girl child in the country. Mtema was speaking in the area of Senior Chief Chitukula in Lilongwe, where the organization donated sewing machines and briquettes making machines to Chisomo Women Group. Maeso Chikadzula has the details in this report.
Shaping Our Future Foundation is an organization founded by the First Lady, Madame Monica Chakwera. According to Ntema, it is the wish of the First Lady that women are empowered in various sectors so that they help in the development of the country. Ntema says it is encouraging that the women are now able to support their children as well as help in the protection of the environment. She said through the project they are supporting 4 women groups with initial startup capital to implement various economic empowerment projects. Ntema held Chisomo Women Group for the effort to protect the environment as well as promoting hygiene among school-going children.
So we are here today at Chisomo Women Group to give them or donate the sewing machines as well as a brigade making machine. so that these women are economically empowered. We empower women economically so that they can support their children with and encourage them to do education. As the foundation, we provide scholarships to needy students, but we know that the needs are many. Apart from school fees, uniform and examination fees that we pay, we know that they also need transport as well as groceries. So once we empower women economically, these women will support their children with these other needs.
Chairperson of Chisomo Women Group, Yasmin Chonde, has held Shaping Our Future Foundation for assisting the women in improving their lives so that they become self-reliant. She also held the First Lady for putting the welfare of women at heart. Ilongwe District Council Monitoring and Evaluation Officer Blessings Makiringa urged the women to continue working together so that they transform their lives together.
So coming up with development partners like SOF, it helps to complement government efforts in such a way that women, as I've seen here, they are going to improve their economic statuses, their knowledge base, wisdom-wise. They'll also be exposing to various economic actors in the country. You know, they are making briquettes, and these briquettes will help people in our communities to not rely on the natural resources that have been already depleted.
Shaping Our Future Foundation is implementing a We Are Equal campaign launched in September 2023 in Idowa and Lilongwe districts to eliminate gender-based violence with funding from the Organization of African First Ladies for Development of Flood. Maesoje Kadzula, MBC News, Lilongwe.
And now in sports, Silver Strikers are eyeing to consolidate the TNM Super League lead as they host Mzuzu City Hammers this afternoon. The Bankers are leading the table with 30 points, and they have opened a 9-point gap with the second-placed Mighty Mukuru Wanderers. Today's midweek fixture of the Elite League also involves 10th-placed Dedza Dynamos, who is hosting Kamuzu Barracks at Baka City, and Baka City welcoming Moyare Barracks at Karunga Stadium. MBC Sport Live will broadcast a match between Silver Strikers and Mzuzu City Hammers. And that item also concludes this edition of MBC News. A reminder of our top stories. President Chakwera urges traditional leaders to continue fostering peace in their areas in the wake of the recent tragic events in Malawi. National Democratic Institute for International Affairs calls on Parliament to check Malawi's rising public debt. And the Central Region Water Board gets backing from the Parliamentary Committee on Budget and Finance to raise water tariffs. For more on these and other stories, follow MBC Digital on Facebook, X, Instagram, and our website mbc.mw. I am Hatso Tebulo. On behalf of the entire news team, thanks for watching and good afternoon.